Hello, and welcome to Around the Boxes, episode number 8, right? Yeah, episode 8, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, I might be wrong, but I got my Christmas lights up. It's officially the season. December 8th today. We put up our decorations earlier this week, well, last week, but we hung up some lights in here, and then we also got, you can kind of see in the corner there, we have some white icicle lights hung up, and then we got the multicolored ones back there, so all sorts of fun stuff going there. Sorry, just getting a text message. Yeah, welcome back to Around the Boxes. This is, of course, my weekly live stream series about comic book collecting, where I go through, show you guys my new pickups, go through my collection, talk about different things comic book related, so all good things. So it's gonna be a bit of a shorter one this week. I have some pretty good pickups to show you guys. We've got a stack about this big, so some good stuff there. But we're pretty much just gonna do the pickups and kind of go from there this week, just because I've been on kind of a tight schedule. I had my parents were in town the last couple of days, so they just left today. So kind of was rushing to get this episode out today, because I didn't want to. Miss a week, but on the top of the episode here, before I dive into it, I wanted to shout out, go and check out Webhead's Comic Club if you've missed it. Episode 1 premiered on Monday, and this is a new podcast with me and JP where we are reading through every issue of Amazing Spider-Man and then discussing them on the podcast. We do about 5 issues per episode. So episode 1 is live now. You can see that on the channel here. Or you can catch it on Spotify. Let me see if it'll open up here. There we go. You can listen to it on Spotify, and you can listen to it on Apple Podcasts. It is coming soon to Google Podcasts. I was just still working on getting that going, but you can go listen to it on Apple Podcasts, and make sure you leave a 5-star rating if you do. But yeah, go and check that out, because I want to get as many people checking that out as possible, because we worked really hard on that, and we've got more coming. It's only the first episode. We're still learning as we go, so the quality will be increasing. The quality in time. We'll get a little better at doing it in time, so it's going to increase over time. I'm realizing my camera is not where it should be. It should be like up here. Well, hold on. This is wrong. Alright, well, I'll adjust it later. This is where we're... Oh, no, now I'm moving everything. Oh, my gosh, we are just gonna be all messy now. That looks good. It's good enough. I'll figure it out later, but... yeah, pretty much so. I'm going to dive into my pickups. I had some new books that came out today. I was kind of rushing to read them before this episode because I wanted to go live at 5:30, and I was trying to read them, so I actually didn't read one of them, but it's not that important. But I have some books. If you watched last week's episode, at the very end, I was kind of looking online at some comic books. I did end up ordering some as soon as the episode ended, and then when my parents were in town, we went and visited over where we used to live, kind of close by. So I went and visited some of my old comic stores that I used to go to as a kid, and picked up some books there. My hair is ridiculously long now. In case you can't tell, I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, so I'm going to be chopping all this off. I've put off a haircut for way too long, so we will be chopping that off tomorrow. But yeah, other than comic books, this week I had to buy some more bags and boards. So some of these comics are not bagged and boarded yet because I literally just got back from the comic store about 30-40 minutes ago. So I need to rebag a lot of these. But we're just gonna dive into it. Go ahead and get started. How off am I on this? Hold on. Okay, that needs to be lower. Okay, yeah. Wow, we are not even close. I'm like fixing this live on the... Oh. What happened? Okay, I think I lost connection to the stream there for a second, but we are back. Hopefully that was just a brief interruption. I don't know what happened there, but yeah. So I'm gonna dive into my comics now. So new books that came out this week. First one I picked up is Fantastic Four Life Story number 5. This is the one that I have not read yet because it's a pretty hefty read, and I was kind of rushing to read before the episode began. So haven't read it yet, don't have any thoughts on it yet, but I have been really enjoying the series, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. So I think it'll probably be very good, but I did not read that one yet. Where am I putting these? I guess I'll put them over here. The other new book I picked up is Devil's Reign, number 1. I did not realize this was coming out. I had heard about it, but I didn't know much about it. But then I saw it on the shelf, and I decided to pick it up because it seems like the big Marvel event going on right now. And it looks pretty interesting. So I picked it up and read issue 1, and I really like it. I think it was pretty good. It's a cool concept. It's kind of like a version of Civil War. A little bit different than what Civil War was. But definitely setting up some pretty big things for the Marvel Universe. So, and especially on a ground level scale, kind of set in New York specifically. So yeah, I would definitely recommend go and pick it up if you if you read a lot of Marvel comic books. I'd say this will probably have some big impact on the universe going forward, depending on how this one works out. So yeah, it's definitely kind of the book leading up to this was obviously the Daredevil series, which I have not been reading. It's supposed to be really good, but I have not been reading that. I might start picking up if they do a new one, but I don't know. I just didn't see a good point to jump on. This next book I really liked. This was Amazing Spider-Man 80. Beyond. This was kind of a little buddy cop story with Aunt May and Doc Ock, which I thought was really, really fun. Really interesting to see. I won't spoil the ending, but I liked how it ended and how it kind of worked out, and I'm glad that this is kind of like a little one-off side story leading up into the next few issues of Beyond. Peter is, starting to recover from his coma, so that will be good to see. That he's not dead, so that's positive. Mark Bagley cover. It's actually a pretty decent cover. I haven't liked some of his recent covers, but this one is pretty good. I like the old school kind of box text there. Yeah, I thought it was good. It was interesting. I'm glad it was 80. Beyond and not 81 or anything like that. But I said it last time. I think the last one they did was 78. Beyond or something like that. I don't like when they do that. I don't like decimals in issue numbers, so that part I'm not a huge fan of. I wish they would just do it as a one-shot, or what they really should do is just print it as a backstory in like a main issue. But they did not do that, so it's okay. But I thought it was enjoyable. I thought it was worth the buy. If you're reading the Amazing Spider-Man series, you should pick it up in case you didn't already. But this next issue is just a random comic book. I ordered a book on eBay, and the seller just kind of threw this in as a free book. It's Pride and Wisdom, number 1. It's just a Kitty Pryde one-off. This will go in my miscellaneous box. I don't think I'll really do much with it. I don't think it's really worth anything. It is kind of cool. I mean, Kitty Pryde is my favorite X-Men character, so that is a little bit interesting, but yeah, I mean, this was just kind of a throw-in. So I was like, cool, I guess. I'll take it. I mean, it's free, so can't really complain. But these next few issues are where the title of this video comes from. I said I've completed my Amazing Spider-Man collection. Now, that's a little clickbaity. Obviously, I have not completed my entire collection. But this week, episode number 8, I have officially completed my Volume 5 collection. Because, as I've mentioned many times in this series, if you've been watching every episode, I've been trying to fill in the gaps of Volume 5 because I stopped picking up comics for about 2 years, and I missed about 30 to 35 issues, and so the past few months I've been trying to buy those to fill in that gap. And I've officially went online and purchased the last few I needed. I bought all of the ones that my comic store had over the last couple of months, and then there were just a few left that I needed. So I went online and ordered them, and I've officially every single issue. So now my Amazing Spider-Man collection is from 698 up to current, which is 890s, I think. So almost a 200 issue run, so that's pretty cool. And now I can start extending onto the back end of it. But as far as volume 5, the issues that I picked up this week, I got issue 36, which is a pretty cool cover, actually. I like all of these 2099 covers are pretty good. I got issue 37, which is this one. And I paid a couple of bucks for each of these, nothing too crazy. 39, My Podcast with Jonah. It's kind of a fun one. And then 44, which is, I think, a prelude to Sin's Rising. Beware the Rising. And then the last one that I needed, and this was the most expensive one. I think I got this for like 20, 25 bucks, but it's issue 55. It's The Last Remains, part 5. Very popular cover. Beautiful art. I used it in the thumbnail for this episode because it's just an awesome cover. But this was the main one. Like the rest of these I got pretty close to cover price. This was the main one I was worried about dropping a chunk of change on, but I just did it because I was like, you know what? It's only going to get more expensive from here. I should just get it now, and then I'll have them all and be happy with it. But yeah, that's an awesome cover. That's probably one of the best covers Spider-Man has had in many years. I love when there's a black cover and then they do the white text with black fill. So it's just kind of like a white outline. I think that's a really good look. So with these issues, I now officially complete my Volume 5 run. And that was kind of a big goal of mine. That was my initial collecting goal. So now I need to look to the future. And I have a new goal. Well, I have a few new goals. Because, like I mentioned, my run is from 698 up to current. Prior to that, I had started, if you watched, let me see, what episode was that? Let's go on the channel here. With episode number 2 of Around the Boxes, I talked about my first modern Amazing Spider-Man books. Oh my gosh. So I don't know what is going on. I keep losing connection with OBS. I don't know. My internet's acting up or what the case is, so I apologize that the episode keeps getting interrupted, but that's another one of the reasons we're going to be keeping it short today, because I don't know what's going on. So this will be an unusually short Around the Boxes episode, but that's fine. Anyway, as I was saying, the first modern Spider-Man book I picked up was issue 666. I picked it up through Spider Island, I picked it up past Spider Island, I picked it up to around 680. 683, I think. I was missing like one. But then I fell off again, and I didn't pick it up until it went to Superior. So my next collection goal is to fill in my gap between 698 and 680. 681, I think. And that will fill... so then I'll extend my run back to 666. So I'll have a 250 issue run by then. So to kick that off, I bought a few comic books for that run. So first one I picked up is 697, which kind of, so basically what I'm doing is working my way back. So I had 698, now I'm getting 697 and working my way back towards 680. And then after I do that, then I can work my way back from there, just going 650s, 640s, 630s, all the way back into the 500s and just start filling in the collection that way and completing my run. So 697. And then I got 696, which is another beautiful Hobgoblin cover. Love that. Love that. 695, which is another great cover. So that is now the beginning of my run. So I have 695 up to, I think we're at like 890 or 891. So coming up on, or no, we're at 880. What are we at? We're at 881, I think. Something like that. 881. So almost a 200 issue run. So once we get up to 900, then we'll be crossing that realm. So yeah, filling in the collection there. You can see here I ordered these from mycomicshop.com. I highly recommend it. mycomicshop.com. Go and check it out. Not sponsored. I'd love to be sponsored by them, but I tend to buy comic books from them pretty regularly, so I think they're a pretty good spot to get them. Now, the rest of these books I bought today, so these are very, very recent pickups. I got these at my old comic store. So this is a comic store that I used to go to when I was a kid. This is actually the comic store that I bought my issue number 2 from. My Amazing Spider-Man 2. I bought that at this store. So I was back in that area. Since my parents were in town, we went and visited there, and I picked out some. I don't know why I keep disconnecting. I am having technical difficulties. I don't know what is going on. I'm going to try and keep an eye on it over here. It just keeps popping up, says disconnection. But anyway, so I picked out some books there and picked these up. So first one I got was Amazing Spider-Man 541. Back in Black issue. You guys may remember a couple episodes ago I picked up 542 and 543, which were the last 2 Back in Black issues. So now I picked up this one. I picked up 540, and I picked up 539. So now I got all of the Back in Black issues. This is the one, iconic cover. I mean, I love this cover. I saw on eBay there was a CG Seed copy of this book that I thought about getting, but I ended up not getting. But that's a beautiful, beautiful cover. So with that, I now have every Back in Black issue, which is pretty cool because I think that's a really awesome storyline, and that's obviously right before One More Day. So I have a small little run in the 500s there. Now I also picked up issue 533. I had recently picked up 534, 535, 536. This was one that I've seen online being somewhat expensive because I think this is when he unmasks himself. But they were selling it at this store for $6, so that seemed like a good price to me, so I went for it. And adding that, so continuing, if I get the rest of those Civil War issues, then I'll have like 533 to 542, 543, so that's a pretty good little 10-issue run right there in the 500s, so filling in that gap, which is great. Now, the last couple books I got here are actually some Silver Age books. I was a little bit disappointed when I went to the store because I used to buy so many Silver Age Spider-Man books there, but they did not have any there. At a different store I went to, they did, but they were a little bit more overpriced. They did have one book that I really liked. They had issue 80 with the Chameleon. I think it was like $30. So I might go back and get that at some point. But these books were ridiculously cheap. They're pretty low grade, but getting any Silver Age book for, this one is $4. So getting any Silver Age book for $4 is pretty great. This is Fantastic Four issue 61. Now there's a chip missing from the corner here. Cover's pretty beaten up. I'm pretty sure it's attached, but there's some tears, there's some wear, there's some writing on it, all sorts of things like that, but pretty cool cover. I mean, it's got Sandman on it. Love Sandman. It's got all of the Fantastic Four appearing on it, so it seems like a pretty cool pickup for $4. So I was like, yeah, I mean, that's the price of a new comic book, so I'm not going to turn that down. And then I got the next issue after that, which is Fantastic Four 62. Now this one was $5. It's a little bit nicer condition than 61. Their spine is kind of split in a couple places, but it displays pretty well, so not too bad of a copy for $5. You really can't complain with that find. That's pretty good. So got a couple Fantastic Four Silver Age for a couple of bucks. Now this next book is my favorite one that I picked up for a couple of reasons. It's pretty decent condition. It's mid-grade. I'd maybe give it a 4.0, but I got it for $6. And this is the Mighty Thor issue 157. Behind him, Ragnarok. Obviously, Thor Ragnarok. So that's a pretty big comic book. But the thing I really love about this book is you've got your signature right over here by Randy. So this comic was owned by someone named Randy at some point who wrote their name on it. Now, that looked really familiar when I saw it. And then I remembered why, and as soon as I came home, I went and dug in my Thor collection, and sure enough, there's another book by Randy. Now, that would be a crazy coincidence. I'm pretty sure I probably bought this book at this same store years ago. So they were probably, the store probably bought this Randy's collection, but I just thought that was funny. I mean, I already owned one of Randy's comics, so I thought, well, I might as well own another one of Randy's comics. So I thought that was really cool. Just like a weird connection, because I've had this comic book for years. I mean, I've had this one, I don't even remember buying it. And I just happened to find another one from the same guy's collection, that Randy kid, who apparently wrote his name on every single comic he owned, like a psycho. But decent condition, $6 Thor book, Silver Age. I mean, that's awesome. Definitely cannot complain about that. But that is all my pickups this week. So, good amount of modern back issues, some Silver Age back issues. Haven't really dived into Bronze Age too much. I've been focusing on Silver Age and Modern. Mostly Modern, just looking for good Silver Age finds. I am going to dive into Bronze Age eventually. I'm kind of just focusing... When it comes to Amazing Spider-Man, I'm focusing on Modern because that's the most affordable things I can be buying right now, because Silver Age Spider-Man is ridiculously expensive. So I'm trying to fill in my Modern collection and kind of extend my run back. And then with Thor and Fantastic Four and Hulk and all of those, I'm trying to focus on Silver Age because I have almost no books from them. So I'm trying to get my Silver Age collection expanded there. And eventually I'll dive in and get some Bronze Age books for Fantastic Four, Thor, Hulk, and start getting more Bronze Age Spider-Man books. But it's really easy to pick up a couple books that are $4, $5, and fill in my collection that way. So before I know, I mean, that's really the next big goal. I mean, filling the gap between 680 and 700 is my next goal, but that's a pretty small goal. It won't take me too long to do that. My next big goal would be everything, because I have a big run. I have most of the 300s of Amazing Spider-Man. I have like 313 to 415 or something like that. So if I could get 313 to current, that would be the next big goal. Basically filling in all of the modern books. So getting all of the 400s, all of the 500s, and all of the 600s would be my next big collecting goal. So that will be a huge deal, because then I just have to go backwards from there and get all of the Bronze Age ones, which that would take me a little bit more time. There's a lot of expensive books in there, but then it would be a much more feasible possibility to collect every issue of Amazing Spider-Man, which is, of course, my long-term goal. So that will be a very exciting day. Maybe that'll be like Around the Boxes episode 100. I mean, that'll be a long ways away, but definitely something I look forward to a lot. So, but that about does it for this episode. I told you it would be a short one. It's been about 20 minutes. Keeping it short this week. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, go and check out Webhead's Comic Club. I highly recommend it if you do like Amazing Spider-Man, which if you're watching this, you probably do, because most of these comics were Amazing Spider-Man. So go and check out Webhead's Comic Club. We're going to be doing a new episode every single Monday, right here. New episodes every Monday. You can watch it on YouTube. You can listen to it on Spotify. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts. It'll be coming to Google Podcasts soon. Go and check it out. And yeah, I'm just going to leave us there. So thank you for watching this short episode of Around the Boxes. I will see you guys next week with a full-length episode. The next thing on this channel you will see is probably Webheads on Monday. So I will see you guys Monday for episode 2 of Webheads right here on YouTube, premiering live. So thank you guys for watching.